everyone, and thanks for joining me for another video. Still in my house. I'm not back in the studio yet, but I'm in my favorite chair, so it's all good. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's not a meditation and it's not yoga. What? It's just going to be me talking. So if that's not your thing, feel free to switch off now. But I get asked the same kind of questions and I hear the same kind of things being said by students of mine, by friends, by family, by people online. And I just want to kind of have a little bit of a talk about them. And it's the kind of common expectations or mistakes that people make when they first come to yoga class, when they first start to do yoga, and they think that this is how it's supposed to be, and it's not. And I know that some of these expectations can put people off, so that's why I want to kind of have a little bit of a chat about them and let you know that some of them are complete myths and they're not necessarily the way of it. So don't let it put you off coming to yoga class or booking a one-to-one with me or doing Skype yoga or any of those kind of things. And the first one I hear all the time, and it honestly grinds my gears, is, oh, you have to be flexible to do yoga. That's absolutely not true. You don't have to be flexible to do yoga. The flexibility comes with doing yoga. Although flexibility is not the kind of goal of yoga, it's, there's a lot of other things in there which I'll not go into now because some of them are more to do with the kind of mind and stuff like that, but I'll talk about that in another video. But you absolutely do not have to be flexible to do yoga at all. For some of the poses it might help in that you're doing something and you feel uncomfortable because you're not flexible, but if you keep practicing you will get more flexible and you will get better at it. The same as anything, no matter what it is that you're trying to do, if you practice it you get better. The first time you do it you think, I am horrendous at this, this is not for me, I'm not good at this, and then you practice it and you get better. It's the same with yoga. Like, you wouldn't say, oh, I'm too dirty to have a bath. You don't need to be flexible to do yoga. So I don't want people thinking, oh, you have to be super flexible and that's why I can't do it. I do hear that all the time. And I do say to people, like, that's not the case. Some people believe me, some people don't. But when I first started doing yoga, I couldn't even touch my knees, never mind my toes. It was like, I can't do this, I'm so not flexible. But that's come with time, and that's come with just practice. It's practice. So myth number one, that you need to be flexible to yoga. You do not. You don't need to be flexible at all. I have a lot of students that are not flexible, and they've managed to kind of build up the confidence to come and think, I'm not flexible. And then, they'll try some of the poses, and after a couple of weeks, like, oh, look how far I can get. I can do this now, I can do this now. I never thought I would be able to do that. So, give it a try. You don't need to be flexible. Just give it a blast and see what you fancy. Jumping off from there to my next point, that a lot of people think you need to be to do yoga, is fit and healthy. That's not necessarily the case. I'm not necessarily fit and healthy. I suffer from a lot of joint pain and a lot of joint stiffness and a lot of muscle spasms and all of that, all to do with the fibromyalgia, and I wouldn't necessarily call myself healthy because of that. I'm fit and I do yoga and I go for walks and I run and all the other, I run badly, all the other things. They try and keep me healthy and I eat nutritious food and all of that, but I'm not perfectly fit and healthy. I have issues, I have joint issues and pains and whatever, and you don't need to be at the peak of physical condition or perfectly fit and healthy to do yoga. Though that's not to say that every single yoga class will suit you. Some yoga classes are geared at more advanced yoga. Some are geared towards people who are good with the heat, like hot yoga, which I'm not, so I don't do. Some are geared towards people who've been doing it a long time. Some are geared towards people who are fitter or healthier, but that doesn't mean that you have to be fit and healthy to do yoga. And like personally for me, I try and make all of my classes and videos as accessible as possible. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll see that I'm always saying, oh, you could do it this way, you could do it this way. If you have an issue doing this, try it like this. You know, you don't have to be fit and healthy to do yoga. There's armchair yoga that I can take people through if they are like, well, I can't stand up or I can't lie down. There's always something. There's always some way that we can make yoga accessible for you, no matter your fitness level, no matter, you know, your health issues. So if that's been putting you off yoga and you want to give it a try, get in touch. Get in touch and we can do a one-to-one session, and with social distancing we can do it over Skype or WhatsApp or anything. Or if you've even got a question about how do I do this pose, I've never been able to do it because of shoulder issue or hamstrings or whatever the case may be, like, get in touch and we'll make it work for you. So myth number 2, you do not have to be fit and healthy to do yoga. Yoga is for everybody and everybody as well. So like that. So yeah, you don't have to be perfect to start doing yoga. Another aspect of that, I'm getting like these kind of little jumping off points. I'm going all out of order of what I had planned to talk about, but they're good jumping off points, I've realised. You may never be able to do every pose. People think, oh, I come to yoga class every week or every, you know, a couple of days and I should be able to do this thing, and she can do it and he can do it, and why can't I do it? Sometimes it's how your body's made. You'll not be able to do a particular pose because of the proportions of your body, the proportions of your hips or the length of your arms or whatever. Sometimes you just have to accept it. There's poses that I can't do because my body's just not designed to work that way. Now sometimes you need a little bit of a tweak to be able to do it, so you can do that pose if you tweak it slightly, and this is where a yoga teacher or someone like myself can help you. Sometimes with the proportions of your body, you're just never going to be able to be comfortable in it. That's just the way it is. Sometimes you're not going to be able to do it. Sometimes you're not going to be able to do it because of your flexibility at that point in a particular area. So you might think, well, everyone else in the class can do it, why can't I? I should be able to do this, I come every week. But you maybe have an issue with flexibility in a particular joint or in a particular muscle or something like that that's preventing you right now. Just because you do yoga on a regular basis doesn't mean you can do every single pose. And sometimes because of an injury or something, it's just not going to be possible for you. I can't do every pose. There's a lot of poses I can't do, and you know, it's for various reasons. Some of it is I don't have the body, you know, type to do that, or I can do it but it's not comfortable just because of the proportions of my body. Some of it is the fibromyalgia that I can't do. You know, I suffer from a lot of muscle stiffness, so even though I'm flexible in ways, I'm really unflexible in other ways, and it's a constant fight to try and keep the flexibility that I have and to try and loosen up the muscles and the joints. So there's stuff I'm not going to be able to do. So, you know, there's stuff I'm not going to do because I have a larger chest than some other people and they get in the way. It's just the way of it. If you're a lady with a larger chest, there's just some stuff that's not going to be comfortable. It is what it is. So, you know, don't think that you should be able to do every pose, and be okay with that. You know, be gentle with yourself and think, okay, I can't do every pose, that's fine. Who said you had to? You know, the point of yoga is not to be able to do every single pose. That's not it at all. So be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself. Accept that you're not able to do something and that it's okay. It's totally fine. No one said you had to. No one said this was something that you have to do yoga or to be good at yoga. It's not that at all. So that's myth number 3. Down. In terms of the next point, it's comparison. It's a little bit jumping off from what we've talked about, but a lot of people come to class, and I've noticed this a lot where because I make all my poses quite accessible, so I'll show all the different variations of a pose. So say we're doing pigeon, and I'll go, right, so, you know, depending on your flexibility, depending on your ability, whatever, these are the different variations of it. This is how you could use a prop, this is how you could do this, this is how you could do this. And I always see students and they'll look around the class or they'll look at me and they'll go, everyone else is doing that, or the teacher's doing that, I'm going to try for that. And that's not necessarily a good way to be, you know, because then people maybe can't do it. You know, I've students come to class and go, oh, you can do that thing and I can't. Yeah, but I've been doing yoga for 22 years, so I just have I'm a little bit ahead of you there, so that's why I can do it. And then, you know, in a period of time after you've been practicing, you'll be able to do it too. But you can't come and expect to look the same as the teacher or other students or the picture in the magazine or on the video or somebody on Instagram or YouTube or whatever. Comparison is the thief of joy, my friends. It really, really is. You know, and I know I'm talking about yoga here now, and you comparing yourself to somebody else in the class, and that makes you, you know, that makes you feel bad because you can't do it the same way, or you don't feel like you can do it the same way. So you give up or you don't want to come back. But it's the same with everything. And I do it as much as the next person. You know, I'll look at somebody's picture on Instagram and think, wish I looked like them, or wish I was as thin as them, or wish I was able to put together an outfit as well as them, or my hair looked as good, or they can do that pose better than I can, or whatever it is. You know, comparison steals our joy from that moment. We should be sitting in a yoga class in the moment, feeling how our body feels, feeling how our mind feels, working through something in that moment, and not looking around and thinking everybody else is better than me, because that's not good for our self-esteem, it's not good for our mental health, and it causes us to potentially strain to reach something that we can't, and potentially injure ourselves. You know, I've seen students do that as well, where they want to push for a pose, or they want to push for a variation that they've seen me do or another student, and they can't quite get there, so they're risking injury to stretch for something that, you know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you look the same as the guy next to you. No, it doesn't. You know, it really doesn't, and it puts people off yoga. It puts people off coming to class. It puts people off, you know, doing it, and that's what I want to kind of get away from. That these things can put people off doing yoga. So, just because you don't look the same as the person beside you, the teacher, a magazine, an Instagram post, doesn't mean you're not good. It doesn't mean you're not perfect the way you are, and it doesn't mean you're not doing what you can do in that moment. And so it's, you know, try not to compare yourself with others if you're in class, so that you don't potentially injure yourself or get put off yoga or come away feeling bad. You should leave a yoga class feeling good. That's what I strive for in all my videos and classes, that people leave feeling good about themselves, and they feel good about what they've done, and they feel good about what their body can do. So comparison is, you know, it's a bit of an expectation or mistake that people make, that I should be able to look the same as everybody else, or strive for that, or achieve that, or, you know, and in some ways that's how society's kind of set us up, that we're always striving and working to achieve and do and do and do. But it's okay to just be, and it's okay to be where you are. You meet yourself where you are and be okay with it. You're not the same as everyone else, you're unique, and that's wonderful. That's great, we're all unique, and that's fantastic. Imagine if we were all the same, how boring life would be. So, you know, stop comparing yourself to others in the class or other people that you see in videos or Instagram or whatever. Like, just cut that out. Cut that out right now. And another kind of mistake then is comparison with yourself that people make. So they're kind of two facets of the same thing. There's been times that I've done yoga one day and I've been so flexible, and my balances have been great, and my balance has been amazing, and I've just been like, yeah, I'm knocking this out of the park, I'm on fire today. And I've done the same thing the next day and been absolutely rubbish. My balance has been weak. I haven't been as flexible. You know, I'm like, oh, this is just, can't do this, can't do this, can't do this. That's just the way life goes. Some days you're going to be better, some days you're not. Some days you're the statue, some days you're the pigeon. That's how it is. And comparing what you could do yesterday to what you could do today, again, it's the same as comparing to other people. It steals your joy of being in that moment. It steals your joy of being in that pose. It steals your joy of what your body can do, and enjoying doing yoga for the sake of doing yoga and for the sake of doing something good for yourself, and doing something that makes your soul happy. So a lot of people do, and I get this, and people come into my class, they'll say, well, last week I could do, last week I could get this far, last week I could get here, I could get here. That's great, yeah, you could. Today you can't. Next week you'll do better. It's just, it is what it is, and it's fine to not be the same every week and to not be as good. Don't let comparison of your past self steal your joy from being in this moment, and your joy of being in that class or in that session or doing that pose or whatever. Don't let yoga be ruined for you by comparing yourself to past you. Just be in the moment and just be present. You be a human being, not a human striving for what I did last week. And just be okay with where you are. Just meet yourself where you are and be okay with it. That's it. That's just be happy with where you are right now. Be happy that you can move your body, that you can get out of bed, or that you can do a pose, or that you can, come to class, or that you can log on online and do an online class, or that you can put your socks on that day. Just be in the moment and enjoy what you have, and meet yourself where you are and be kind to yourself. So comparison of yourself and of others it's not good, and it is an expectation that people have, or a belief, or a mistake that they make, or whatever way you want to put it, that is not good. I keep touching the back of my head. I recently I succumbed to lockdown and got an undercut done, and it's kind of growing now, and I'm like, oh, my hair's so short at the back, it's growing. Ooh. So I need to give a little trim. That's why I keep I'm not used to having short hair at the back. So yeah, I'm sorry I'm ruining this video because of my hair. Yeah, another mistake that I've seen people make, or a false expectation that they have, and I promise I'm nearly at the end of my rant, is props. Whether that's bolsters, straps, blocks, cushions, whatever. People think, oh, you should only use a prop if you're a total beginner, or you can't do that thing. That's not true. That's not true at all. Sometimes, yes, props can help. If I'm trying to do a particular pose and my hip is not quite at the floor, I can put a cushion under, or a block, or if I can't quite reach my foot, I can use a strap or whatever. But that's not the only reason to use props. Sometimes props just make life more comfortable. And why struggle if you don't have to? Why struggle to achieve that pose if just putting a little block or using a strap or a bolster or whatever just makes that a little bit more comfortable? Especially if you're doing something like kind of yin yoga, or you want to do something a bit restorative. Blocks are just, a really nice addition to that. Bolsters are so comfortable. Straps are great. They just make everything so much more relaxing and comfortable and great. And I do see people kind of saying, oh, I'm not going to use a prop because I've been coming to yoga for X amount of time, and I don't need a prop there for beginners. Well, yeah, they are, but they're for everybody as well. Maybe you're just having one of those days where you go, do you know what, I fancy a little bit of comfort, I'm going to use a prop. Or, today I'm having a bit of a bad day because I'm recovering from an illness or a shoulder injury or whatever, and I can't quite do that thing that I normally do, I'm going to use a prop. There's nothing wrong with it. Props are great. I have loads of props, I use them all the time, and I don't necessarily need them, but I like them. And I like having a bolster when I'm lying down in Shavasana under my knees, even though I don't need it. I like having blocks sometimes, just because they make things a bit more comfortable, especially if I'm having a flare up or a painful day. I like using the strap sometimes. I can just get into a pose a little bit deeper with it than I would have if I wasn't using that strap. So straps, blocks, bolsters, props can help you achieve a pose that you might not be able to without, but they can also help you deepen a pose. They can also help you get different nuances out of a pose, that maybe you have to hold a pose in a certain way, but putting a block in allows you to relax a certain part of your body, to feel it somewhere else, to get that other nuance or to build upon that. Pose in a different way that you wouldn't have experienced before, and they help you deepen the pose a little bit more potentially. They help make life a bit more comfortable. You know, who doesn't love a bit of comfort? There's nothing wrong with it. You know, if you've got a cushion there and you want to use it, do it. You don't have to meditate sitting on the hard floor if you want to put a bolster or a block or a cushion. Just do it. Just use it. They're not just for beginners or people who can't do the thing. Like if you've watched any of my videos, I always put a cushion under my knee if I'm doing a lunge and I'm doing, you know, corkscrew or anything like that. I live in a house with a wooden floor, and even though I put my mat down, that's still uncomfortable on my knee. And yeah, I can do it, but I like a cushion. So, you know, I like being comfortable, and why not? Being comfortable allows me to experience the pose and experience all of the pose and all of the things that come out of that, rather than sitting there for the full time going, flip me, my knee's really sore and uncomfortable. Do you know, so use the block, use the bolster, use the strap, use whatever. Props are not just for beginners, props are for everybody. So yeah, that's like a kind of a myth that I've seen people go, oh, blocks are for losers. Like, blocks are not for losers, blocks are for everybody. Blocks are great, straps are great, bolsters are great, everyone should use them. And you might find that if you don't normally use a prop, but you do for a particular pose, you might find that you get something completely new out of that pose that you wouldn't have got before. You know, so try it, see what you think. What have you got to lose? Nothing. But what have you got to gain? Potentially everything. So just, yeah. And the last kind of expectation or misconception or mistake or whatever that can put people off yoga is that it has to be very serious. And you know, it's a very serious business, and it's very, and some people do take it very seriously, you know, in ways I take it very seriously, and some people take their classes very seriously. But for me, for my students, for what I get out of yoga, it is fun. It should be fun. It should be enjoyable. Whether you're in yoga for just a form of exercise, whether you're in for the kind of philosophy side of it, whether you're in it for the spiritual aspects and the self-improvement and the you know, all of that. I mean, there's parts of it that are serious and they may not be easy. I'm not saying it's all happy fun time, easy, but if you don't enjoy it, why would you do it? Do you know? Unless you're getting something out of it that makes your life better or that you enjoy it, you'll not do it. And I do find personally that if I have students and we can have a bit of a laugh, they get more out of the session, they get more out of the poses as well. They come away feeling better about themselves, which is the whole goal of yoga for me. And that, you know, I get so much benefit out of it that I want to share that with everybody. And if they think it has to be very serious all the time and, you know, everything's super serious and you have to straight face and all of that's not how I teach, and that's not how I enjoy yoga. You know, I laugh at myself all the time if I fall out of tree or something. I have a wee laugh and go, flip me, you know, that was funny, I nearly headbutted a cat or something. Like, I laugh at myself all the time. And I laugh with my students if they're trying to achieve a pose and they can't quite, or they fall or they make a funny noise, or, you know, what's wrong with having a bit of a laugh? What's wrong with having a bit of a joke with somebody to build up that connection and that relationship to help them achieve more out of their yoga session? You know, there's nothing wrong with it. So for me, it's very much something that can and should be enjoyable, and that can include humour. It can include singing. It can include a bit of you know, bopping about. You know, I always try and encourage my students to, if we're doing rock a baby, I'll say, you can sing to your baby, you know, feel free to sing to your baby, and, you know, try and make it a bit more fun and lighthearted and puts people at ease, because I do get a lot of people who come to me that are you know, at the start they're a bit nervous, they haven't done yoga before, they haven't done it for a while, or they come to me because they see that I have health issues, so they know that I'll understand where they're coming from, and they've maybe not tried this before, and they're all, you know, very, very tense and very nervous, and a bit of humour can just could just flip that whole thing around and make it so much more enjoyable for them, and they get so much more out of it. So for me, the the misconception that yoga has to be serious is just absolutely not. There's nothing wrong with having a bit of fun. There's nothing wrong with enjoying yourself. So that's my kind of take on that. Some people do want to be serious the whole time, and if that works for them, that's great. They'll attract similar people. I don't teach like that, and I don't practice yoga like that. So, you know, I'll attract my people. But if you like fun, happy yoga, I'm your gal. That's what I do. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about those kind of misconceptions or expectations that people have that put people off yoga, that stop people practicing, that stop them coming back to class, that make them feel bad about themselves after class. Because I want everyone to get the benefit of yoga. I want everyone to experience the positives, the upsides, and I want everyone to enjoy it as much as I do and keep it going and get the benefit out of it. I've been doing yoga for what age am I now? Hang on. I've been doing yoga now for like 22, 23 years, and I get so much benefit out of it, and I keep coming back to it because I've lost those misconceptions, and I know that you don't have to be flexible and fit, and it's good for everyone, and you don't have to compare yourself, and that's hard. I'm not saying that that's easy, but I've worked through all those misconceptions and got to the point now where I'm like, I just love this so much. It keeps me going, it keeps me flexible, and it helps me be fitter and healthier, and mentally and physically fitter and healthier, and I want to share that with everybody. So I wanted to do this little kind of video to show everybody you don't have to be what you think you have to be to do yoga, and give it a try. You've nothing to lose, and if you don't want to go to a class, which I totally get, and not that we can at the minute anyway, if you'd rather a one-to-one, get in touch. That's what I do. That's what I specialise in, like kind of one-to-ones and stuff with people. You can get that. You can get me through the website. You can email me. I'm at Leslie@serenityyoga.belfast.com. You can get me on Facebook. You can get me on Instagram. I am, guess what? Serenity Yoga Belfast. I have a Patreon site now. You can contact me through that as well. Get in touch. Get in touch. And I'll put all this below the video in the little description as well. So yeah, just take it easy. Just flow. And you'll get a lot more enjoyment out of it. I promise. So I'm keen to kind of hear what you guys think of this video and my other videos. Please leave me comments, send me messages. I love hearing what you guys think, and I love hearing that you've got benefit out of it. That really I love that. I love people messaging me saying I've got a good night's sleep out of this meditation, or I've been able to do something with your video that I couldn't do before, or it just makes me feel that I'm able to help other people get the benefits that I get, and it makes what I do a bit worthwhile. So yeah, get in touch. Get in touch if there's stuff you like. Get in touch if there's anything that you think I could be doing better. I'm always up for improvement. Get in touch if you have things you want to see. So if you want to see a particular type of meditation, or you want to see a particular pose gone into in detail, or you want to see something like that, get in touch as well. That's what I'm here for. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you learned something from this rant. I hope that it potentially clicked something with you, and I will see you all again soon. Thank you very much, and namaste.